up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Brooke and this is going to be a life catch-up Q&A. I feel like I haven't done one of these like just sit down videos in a minute. I've been having a lot of fun making vlogs and showing you guys like my day-to-day life, but I thought that we were due for a cozy chat in sweats, very casual, like grab your coffee, grab your tea, whatever your vibe is, chill. I actually just got my booster shot yesterday and I felt fine all day, but to like right now I'm starting to feel a little fatigued and kind of sick, like coldish, fluish vibes. Actually kind of similar to when I had COVID, so that makes sense. So I'm just taking it easy on myself and I thought that we could keep it casual and do like a big ol' catch up. Dive into some topics that I know you guys want me to talk about. A lot of the topics were about like very similar things, so I'm gonna try to address everything that I feel comfortable sharing in this video. Cheers everybody. This is a cold brew with vanilla sweet cream cold foam. That's exactly what it is. So I asked you guys on my Instagram, which is just @BrookeMichio, you should follow me. I post a lot of stories and stuff that I'm not posting on YouTube on there. So if you want to keep up with me even more, get a first look at everything, that's the place to do it. This first one is how are you / like a check-in. I love these type of questions. I think it's very important to be, you know, checking in with your friends, your family, your loved ones, just like generally. I feel like this world moves so fast and so many times we often miss just like a how are you? Genuinely, how are you? Because I feel like if you ask, then people are more inclined to tell you. Of course, everybody has those things that they hold inside, but they shouldn't feel like it. So I really like this question, so I want all of you to comment how you are right now so we could all check in on each other. I know that winter and like the start of the year, it could be a rough time for many, just because the world, I feel like, places so many expectations on us. Like, it's the new year, you have to hit all your goals, you have to be this amazing fitness inspo, you have to like accomplish everything that you hoped and dreamed for. And if you are like me and you live somewhere where it's cold weather, you might have a little bit of some seasonal sadness or just like feeling kind of sluggish. Anyways, how am I feeling? I overall am extremely happy, but that's not to say that I don't have moods or bad days. However, if I'm looking from like a holistic point of view, like how am I? I'm really, really good. I'm feeling so blessed, so grateful recently to be living this life. That's not just because of one thing or another. I know now a lot of people are like, oh, she's happy because she's in a relationship. Honestly, no, I just feel like a lot of the pieces in my life are finally in place in a way that I only had ever hoped and dreamed for. And like I said, that is not to say that I don't have bad days, because 100% I do. I think we all do, you know? But overall, I'm very fortunate to be okay. I think everybody deals with a little bit of sadness in the winter. Like, I definitely probably stay inside a little more than I should. But beyond that, things are good. All right, the next one is something that has been on my mind, in my heart a lot recently, and it's how are you balancing time recently, especially being in a new relationship. We're just gonna talk about it. Probably it's gonna come up more than once in this video, so I'll just say it now. I am in a new relationship and it's also my first very real relationship. Beyond just like more so casually dating and getting my heart broken, yada yada. What's in the past is in the past. However, this is my first like healthy, full-on adult relationship. Here I am at 24 experiencing all of this. I always like would see this would happen with my friends, and now I understand why. And I used to be like bitter and definitely hold resentment when my friends would fall into relationships. They would definitely like fall off, you know, stop coming around to group hangouts, or like they'd want to bring their significant other around, and I would like low-key be like, you know, rolling my eyes like, of course, like that's what they're doing. And I understand why now, because when you're happy and when you meet someone that makes you so happy and that you're both like adding value to each other's lives in such a way, you want to either bring that person around and have them be like with you, or you want to spend your time with them. And that's not to say that you're like, screw my friends, like I'm out. I think I really used to struggle with wrapping my mind around that before I was in a like more healthy relationship like this. But now that I'm around someone that I genuinely really enjoy spending time with all the time, it's easy to fall into those patterns. Also, not gonna blame the weather, but I think in the winter, you know, they say like cuffing season or whatever, but I do think that that's actually a real thing, that you're like, okay, it's cold outside, like I'm just gonna hang out with my person and like do my thing. My answer is it's hard. It's a lot harder than I anticipated it to be. It's hard because there's a lot of pieces here. We have the relationship piece, friendships. My boyfriend wasn't like in my friend group, it wasn't like that. A lot of questions on how we met on a dating app, very 2021 2022 of us. So it's not like, oh, he was already in my group of friends, he gets along fantastic with my friends. However, like those are still two different circles at the end of the day. Then of course I have my work then of course I have what I used to have a lot of, which was my alone time. And I'm a person who, I am very independent. I really, really value my alone time, and just everything changes. It's almost like your priorities shift. Not even your priorities. It's not like, oh, now I feel obligated to do this and like give up my free time. It's like, I want to give up my free time because I enjoy spending time with this person so much. And I hope that it's vice versa in my case. I know it is. So yeah, it's weird because I used to be one to really, really I still prioritize my alone time. And that's like, what's really nice is that like during the workday, like I do mostly work alone, or I'm like with Danielle. It's not like I have to go into like this huge social setting, so I can make that a lot of my like alone time can be my work time, which I know is a huge privilege. My friendships, I don't want to say like they've taken a toll or anything, but it's something that I'm still working on, and I am not great at finding that balance. I think it's also just really exciting in the new phases of a relationship where you want to hang out all the time and you want to give all of your time and attention and energy towards this person. So I'm hoping that like things will more so fall into like a more balanced state later. Not that I'm like compromising or making any like major life decisions, like compromising for my boyfriend in any way. However, though, like when it comes to the weekend and it's like, oh, I can stay in and like watch a movie with my boyfriend, or I can like go out with my friends, I've been more inclined to do the hang out with my boyfriend option. I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is to this. I just want to be open about it and say that like I get it, and I feel bad that I've been judgmental in the past. Like, and it's not something that like caused drama in any of my friendships or whatever, but it's definitely something that I used to think about, and I'd be like, I vowed to myself, I was like, I'm never gonna be that girl. And here I am, and I don't think I'm fully that girl, but I don't want to be that person. If any of you guys are in a new relationship or can give any advice or tips towards that, let me know, because it's definitely a learning curve. I'll say that. And I think that for me, it's more so a learning curve for me because like I said, this is my first like real big relationship. So that's why. This one I thought was interesting, so I threw it in here. This is verbatim what the question said. How do you think your brand will change with a boyfriend? Your brand was single in NYC. And I don't want to come across, I know I do this a lot, where I come across really defensive. This isn't me coming across as defensive. I see where this person is coming from, and I see that maybe accidentally my brand was created around this like phenomenon that like I was this fun, single, flirty girl, because that's what I've been my entire life. Like I said, I've, you know, been practically single my entire 24 years of living up until this point. So I see that I guess I've unintentionally done that to myself. But to be honest, guys, like I know everybody changes. I get that. I feel like I change a lot. Like I look back on my pictures and like my just everything, and I'm like, I feel like I go through a evolution of who I am as a person in my 20s and in my teen years, of course. Every year I'm changing so much, and then even more like small scale, every month, every week. Like I'm just a constantly evolving person. We all are. I feel like it's a beautiful thing too to be constantly growing and changing, and hopefully it's, you know, in a positive trend cycle. Not every, you know, thing is going to be great, but I think that if I look back on the past 3 years to now, I see the positive incline of like how my life has been going. But for me, I think that my brand, I mean, this is obviously a personal opinion, I feel like my brand is like showing my life, not necessarily just my relationship status. I would hope truly that people don't just follow me because, or hadn't just followed me in the past because I was single. I know maybe you related to me and maybe that was a reason why, but if people only watch my videos because of, like I said, my relationship status, there's more to me than just that. Also, don't plan to make the relationship or being in a relationship the focus of my content. I think it would come up either way. Like when I was single, I would talk about going on dates. Now when I'm in a relationship, I talk about either going on dates or hanging out with my boyfriend. I'm also really trying to work hard on like tuning out the outside noise and like not listening to like what I should do or what other opinions say of me. And like, you know, because if I would have seen something like this maybe a few months ago, not that it would have skewed me anyway, but I think I could look at something like that and be offended and be like, oh, so should I be single? But it's like, no, I'm happy and I'm comfortable and confident in this state of my life right now. And I'm in a really good spot and I'm happy in my relationship. So my content, I hope that it just reflects like where I'm at in the moment. I mean, damn, like I said, I'm not the same person that I was in high school. And some of you guys have followed me since then. Like, damn, I've lived in different cities and I've been through different phases. I mean, you guys know. All right, a break from the relationship questions because that was a lot. Are you staying in this apartment for another year? Yes. So my lease ends in October and I definitely decided already that I will be here for another year because of the amount of money and time I'm putting into furnishing this place, and it's taking a minute. A lot of furniture is back ordered. I'm also definitely not going the most economical route. However, I am working with an interior designer and she's fabulous and amazing. Her name is Sierra Belanja. Like, a lot of furniture is back ordered and stuff, and I've been really taking my time with ordering things because it is expensive. Beyond that, I don't think I'm gonna find an apartment with so many of the things that I want in a New York City apartment like this, and I'm really happy with the part of town I'm in. So for now, so like through October and then through another October, so like 2023 October is the next time I would even consider moving, and even then I might not move. I really don't know. It's hard to predict like more than that, but I love this new apartment. I feel so like reinvigorated. I stayed in the same building, if you guys didn't know, from my last apartment to this one. But I feel like in that time my life changed so much for the better. Like it was just a lot of changes at once. I feel like Danielle moved here, just like my business, my brand, like I've grown so much. I'm so happy. This one I thought was, it's just like kind of a throwback question. I really liked it. Did you struggle with cliques in college / in your sorority? I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos are in college, or maybe just got out of college, or you're going to college. And I want to say, yes, I did a college reflection video where I go like way deeper on this, but I think it's so easy to gloss over and like look at someone's college experience and be like, damn, like looks perfect. I bet they had the best time. I did have an amazing time. Like once again, the overall picture of my 4 years of college, they were amazing. Would I go to Georgia again given the chance? Yes. However, I definitely struggled, particularly my freshman and sophomore years. There were times, guys, my freshman year where I like would, you know, walk in on people talking about group chats that I wasn't in, or like literally verbally like being told that I wasn't invited to things. And things change over time. I think also I had to kind of come into myself and become a more confident, secure version of myself to be a better friend, to be a better person, and to find those people that really like meant a lot to me. I can speak from my own experience. Like, I was so insecure. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I certainly wasn't the best version of myself. So if I could apply that theory to everyone, like, and think that everyone isn't the best version of themselves when you're 18 and trying to figure things out, sometimes it's tough. So yes, I definitely have been there, and you know, it took me a little bit longer than I feel like it took other people to kind of find their groove, but I'm glad that I stuck it out, because now I can look back and my college friends are some of my best friends to this day. Seeing them is like truly the highlight of my year when I get to see them, the ones that don't live in the city, but some of them do live in the city, which is amazing. I hate to be like, it's normal like that, be left out of your cliques, because that sucks. But I think it's something that a lot of people face, and not a lot of people want to talk about it or open up about, because there's some shame and like embarrassment behind that, and there shouldn't be. Questions on moving. Where do you want to settle down? Would you move to another part of the city? In a few years, like I said, after that time frame, so like next October, if I'm looking to move, sure, I'd move to another part of the city. I love living in New York City, and there are so many other places that I would love to move, or even explore other boroughs. Like, I really am not limiting myself by any means. I just don't know where my life is headed, and I think that's kind of a really cool thing at the same time. Where do you want to settle down? This is something that I'm not thinking about at all. I've said in the past, you know, I could see myself opening up to like suburbs of New York, whether that be Long Island, Connecticut, Jersey. But at the same time, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I have no plans or intentions on having children literally anytime soon. Like, that's not even like a thought in my mind. I would consider freezing my eggs before I would consider like having a kid anytime soon, but I'm also only 24. Like, I have time, and I'm not gonna worry about that. It's just not my path to do that anytime soon. Yeah, I know for a while there I was thinking about purchasing a home as an investment property on Long Island. As of now, I'm not doing that, because I just decided to take all that money and invest it in like a financial portfolio instead. It just made sense for me at the time. I didn't want to like have too crazy of physical ties, and then I would have to pay like a property manager, because I don't live there and I can't like take care of the property myself, and I wouldn't want to burden like my dad or like family members with that. But like I said, who knows, things could change next week. Would you ever want to have another job or add a side hustle in addition to what you do now? I feel very fulfilled in the amount of work that I do and the amount of projects that I currently have. Are there days where I'm like, you know, like I could do something else right now? Yes. Are there days that I feel overwhelmed and I feel like I can't do anything else? Yes. Overall though, I feel content and fulfilled and satisfied in my workload. So I feel like that's great. I am so fortunate to be financially in a place where those kind of levels, like my fulfillment and like my income, like match up. So I'm doing okay. I have a concept for like a larger project and like brand, but right now I'm just working on like growing my platforms, working a lot on the podcast, working a lot on like obviously YouTube and other forms of social media. I don't want to rush this project, and I'm working also on like saving because I want it to be something that I can invest my own money in and use that to kind of launch it so it's like entirely my own. And I'm okay, like I feel like, you know, every YouTuber feels like this pressure, or social media person feels this pressure to be like, big things coming, and you know, I feel like there's a lot of like smaller projects that have been released, and I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of our merch, I'm so proud of our podcast, I'm so proud of the platform that I built on YouTube, and like I'm so proud of my vlogs. Like I just feel like things are like really good right now. If there ever does come a time though where I feel that I'm not being like fulfilled enough, or that I have time to do more, I would definitely consider, you know, taking on more side projects, or even just posting more on other platforms. Like I feel like that's probably more so the realistic goal right now, versus I know I have a lot of friends who do freelance and take on clients and things like that. And that's something that I definitely dabbled with and like considered when I first quit my full-time job back when I lived in Boston. Right now, I'm really lucky that that's not needed, and like I said, I feel fulfilled with my workload right now. This one I thought was funny. Do you watch your own old vlogs? I don't. Sometimes they'll pop up and I'll like click on and be like, what did I do that day? But I like skim through it. I don't like to sit and watch really. I don't know, something about it, like kind of what's in the past is in the past. Like if it's, you know, it's up, it's there, I just like literally block it out of my mind. Something that I did do recently though, if you guys journal, I recommend you do this. Look back through your old journal entries. I've never really had done this before, and I decided to go back through like just a few like random pages from like the past few years. And I was like, damn, this is really cool to have. Just like understanding my old thought process. So I guess it's kind of like equivalent of that like in video form, but for some reason I find my videos more cringy to look back on than like a journal. But that's just because maybe like watching myself back, I'm like, I don't really want to do this. That's a really good question though. This is old news. Like I think we're going on, I had my nose job in 2016, but the question is all about that. I still get a lot of people who come to my channel like from that content, so welcome if you're finding me from that. Nose job, how to find a doctor / tell your family, friends, etc. My nose job, I could openly say, like completely changed my life for the better. Like confidence skyrocketed, just didn't feel the need to sit and like Facetune every photo. I just felt more comfortable in my own skin. So I got it in 2016. I don't know, I feel like I just was really open about it, and I know some people don't want to be open about it. I understand that approach too, like kind of just like doing it and telling maybe like close family or friends. It was a topic that had been discussed like in my family for a minute. Like I definitely expressed interest in it when I was like in high school, and it was kind of a thing like, let's wait till you're older, let's wait till you're older. And then when I was like 19, my parents were like, okay, like we can, you know, we can really think about this now. And I'm thankful that they made me wait a little bit, but at the same time, from that point on, like my life was, like I said, it feels like it was better. I don't know if that's bad to say. I would say start with like, you know, your close friends and family, maybe just bringing it up. Hopefully people around you are supportive. I think that if you explain, you know, the struggles that you've been facing, or maybe like your family knows. For me, it was pretty open, like, cause it was something that I would often complain about or often like talk about, and just, you know, so it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. Honestly, for me, I obviously posted about it. I was like vlogging my whole nose job process. I don't think you have to be that open about it. It's totally, you could do it up to your own discretion. But for me, I felt more comfortable being open about it because I felt like if I was presenting the information, no one could come for me and be like, well, you had a nose job. It was like, yeah, I had a nose job. Like I posted all about it. I told everybody. I personally think it's weirder if you try to hide it, but at the same time, it's your own business, so you can do whatever you want. I know people in my life who have tried to hide it, and like, or even any type of plastic surgery, and they like won't confess to it, and it's like, you know that it's true. Even something as simple as like, you know, I see this all the time, like influencers or celebrities who have gotten work done and they don't talk about it, or they'll say, you know, I just use olive oil on my skin. It's like, no girl, like we know that you're getting fillers and Botox and like the whole 9 yards. I just feel like there's something to be said for being like candid and open about it, but I know that that's not everybody's experience. Not that you have to like make a video or like post on your Instagram, but just telling like those people in your orbit, it's a major operation. You're gonna be, you know, not only healing for like a few weeks after, but the year after it, it's kind of like a mental healing in a way, and kind of adjusting to your new face. That sounds so dramatic, but if I could give anybody that advice, I would say just to be candid about it in whatever way feels authentic to you. Okay, this one I really like. It's kind of like a two-parter, so thank you for sending these in. This one says, okay, I'm someone who's been single for a long time, and people always say it's not your time yet, or you have to fully love yourself first, or it's when you least expect it. Now that you have a boyfriend, do you agree with these, or what are your thoughts? don't get me started. The amount of times I would hear those cliche things, like I could literally punch myself in the face because it makes me so mad. I used to get so mad. I know even Danielle used to say it. I love you, Danielle, but she used to be like, it comes when you least expect it. And I used to get so mad, like irrationally mad. And honestly, I'm not going to say it comes when you least expect it because I was like very much so actively dating, at least in my case. I feel like it wasn't my time yet. I definitely agree with. I don't think that I was mature enough or in a place where having a partner or having a significant other in my life would have been like something that I could have handled until now. You could say whatever you want to say about that. I think that a lot of people are in relationships and they probably shouldn't be, but they just are. I don't want this to come across in like a I'm better than you way. I don't mean that at all. This is more so addressed to those people out there who are like me and were maybe in your 20s, mid-20s, early 20s, whenever, and haven't experienced like a full-on like relationship yet. Because I know for me, I would always get questions like almost like what's wrong with you type of questions. I don't know. I just always was very offended by it, and it was always like a really sore subject for me, especially when people broached it from like that angle of the like, why don't you have a boyfriend yet, or like kind of in like a more judgmental tone. In a way, I do agree. I think that it's like a very cliche way of saying the advice, but another question was something you tell your single self now that you're in a relationship. And the thing that I would say is, it's literally so cheesy, I can't even believe I'm saying it, but it's worth being patient, and when it's right, you won't have to settle. Actually, I was on the phone with Taylor King the other day. She asked me this question too. She's like, now looking back on your single days, and not to be like, now I'm like this relationship pro, like by any means. And like I said, this is just speaking on my life right now. Like, I don't know where the future's headed, guys. Like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. But Taylor King asked me, she's like, if you could say, like, think back to your single days, like, what would you say? And for me, it was like, don't settle or don't try to like make things work. I feel like I did that so much with guys that I was dating. I would literally settle for the bare minimum. Like, I would accept such poor treatment. You know, I would be doing all of the texting. I would be doing all of the like plans set up. I would be doing, you know, all the emotional labor of the relationship. When it works, it just works. Like, I feel like I didn't have to think twice about it. Like, I was almost like, wow, this is like so easy. But like I said, I don't think I was emotionally ready. I just think I was in a very selfish place, and it's good to be selfish, you know, in your 20s, like put yourself first. But I was in a very selfish place, I think, in my earlier 20s. And I wasn't ready to enter something and be prepared to give what I feel like I give now in a relationship. And everybody's different on that, you know. I think people have different takes too. Like, some people say you should date around in your 20s and be in messy relationships and do your thing. But for me, I personally think stay single until it's someone that's worth not being single for. I wouldn't change anything. You know, people ask me that, like, would you have changed anything about these 24 years? Like, would you have dated before him if you could have? Or would I have dated someone seriously before him if I could have, you know? And my answer is no. I'm really happy with where I am right now. And I feel like everything has lined up in a way that has brought me here for a reason. Heavy talks today, guys, but I really wanted to talk about all of this. We'll end with a fun one. This one is best Trader Joe's dip. The Super Bowl is coming up. Gotta get your Trader Joe's dips, guys. I really like the sour cream spinach dip. Spinach and kale one is good too. It's a lighter alternative, but the sour cream spinach dip they're like those thick potato-y chips. I think that I don't even know how to describe it. They're like kettle cooked maybe. Oh my God. The duo. I also really like the buffalo chicken dip from Trader Joe's. Anything in their dips department, you really can't go wrong, but those are really good. Also the caramelized onion dip. Wow, that's like the trilogy. My big three. Yeah, that's gonna end off this Q&A. I hope that it gave you some insight on what's been going on with me, and I can't wait to hear what's going on with you guys in the comments. I'm vlogging at the same time, so stay tuned for more vlogs. Subscribe if you guys are new. Follow me on Instagram for more, and I'll talk to you all super soon. Bye, guys.